Are you ready for another Grub and Gab episode? Let us begin. Hi, thanks for joining me on another episode of Grub and Gab with Pixie. Today I'm going to show you how to make these filled lettuce cups, and I'm going to be talking about my pet peeves about food trends. But first, these lettuce cups are fast and easy to make, so they're perfect for lunch or weeknight dinner, or if you want to bring this to a party, it's also fantastic as well. I also have vegan options for you vegans out there, so before I start eating and talking, let me show you how to make these delicious filled lettuce cups. Start by prepping your lettuce. You want to delicately remove the leaves so you can form them into cups later that will hold the filling. You want to be gentle. I'm using iceberg lettuce here, but you can use any lettuce that you want. You can use romaine or even butter lettuce. What you want to do is once you get the leaves removed, put them in water so they can crisp up and also be washed. Next, you want to add a couple of tablespoons of oil to a pan heated over medium heat. I used vegetable oil, but you can also use canola oil. Next, you want to add your ground meat. This is ground beef. It's 96% lean. You can also use ground chicken or ground turkey. Once it's in the pan, you want to make sure you press it down a little bit and break it apart with the spoon so it can cook into nice crumbles. Once the meat is mostly cooked through, you want to use a slotted spoon to remove it from the pan. You want to make sure you leave all the water and the grease that's left in the pan behind. And then once the pan is empty, drain out all the oil and liquid that's left in the pan. Return the pan to medium heat and then add the ground meat back onto the pan. For those of you that are vegan or just looking to eat less meat, you can use riced cauliflower, which is cauliflower just chunked up into smaller bits. Or if you're a fan of tofu, you can use firm tofu crumbled up into smaller pieces. Next, mince up 2 cloves of garlic. And add that to your pan. Then grate fresh ginger to make 1 teaspoon of ground ginger paste. And add that to the pan as well. You want to mix well so the aromatics can mix in with the ground meat or ground vegetables. Next, add 1 tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce. And 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Now, if you're allergic to shellfish, or if you're vegan or vegetarian, use this mushroom vegetarian oyster style sauce. It gives a nice, sweet, rich, deep flavor that you can't get with just soy sauce. Next, add about 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce, and a little shot of hot sauce, and some ground black pepper. Mix well to ensure that the sauce coats everything and continue to cook on medium heat. Next, slice 2 stalks of green onions, also called scallions, and add them to the pan and mix well. Continue to cook for about 2 more minutes. Then, after you turn off the heat, add a small drizzle of sesame seed oil and mix well to combine. And that's it. You're done. Pour it into a bowl to serve. This is the riced cauliflower, and I've used the same seasonings as the ground meat, except the oyster sauce is mushroom sauce. And this is the crumbled tofu, also seasoned in the same way. Remove the lettuce from the water and using a pair of scissors, cut them into smaller sized cups so they're easier to manage. And then add your filling. I've decided to make 1 of each, 1 with ground beef, 1 with riced cauliflower, and the last one with tofu. You can add as much or as little filling as you want. Then, once the cups are filled, add your choice of toppings. I like to use cucumbers, tomatoes, and bean sprouts. You can also use fried wonton strips or toasted slivered almonds. If you missed any of the measurements or want to see a written recipe, go to PixieNoms.com. And that's how you make my super quick and easy filled lettuce cups. I'm going to start by trying to eat one of these ones filled with beef, and I'm probably going to spill it all over the place. But the reason why I like these is because you don't need utensils, because we all remember what happened the last time I had a utensil. Go ahead and use box mixers. Okay, here we go. In for the bite. All the flavor is in the filling, so it flavors everything else. You don't need extra salt. I did put extra hot sauce because I am a hot sauce addict. But you don't have to if you don't want to, okay? I'm just gonna eat this whole thing and then I'll get to talking. Alright, so let's talk food trends. The other day on Facebook, I saw some video that popped up in my feed from like a food showcase, I guess, media company on Facebook. Anyway, they were predicting the top trends for 2018 in food, and it just struck a nerve and just irritated me to hell, because it's this idea that new to them food is something that is discovered by them and is trendy, and it's something they need to show the world. It kind of reminded me of a time when churros took over the world in, like, I don't know, a couple years ago. Everything was churros. Churro cheesecakes, churro donuts, churro ice cream, and the worst part about it was that lost the essence of what a churro was. And it became a synonym basically for anything with cinnamon and sugar. So if a cake had cinnamon and sugar in it, that was a churro cake. If whipped cream had cinnamon and sugar in it, that was suddenly called churro whipped cream. And that bugged the crap out of me. Now I understand that, you know, people are trying to make things their own, putting their own spin on things, you know, making desserts out of something traditional and making it non-traditional. But to call something a churro when in essence it's not a churro, why don't they just say churro inspired? Time to pause in talking, time to eat. This one is filled with the riced cauliflower. One of the vegan options. It's a great way to eat a crap ton of veggies. In hindsight, it's probably not good to associate food with crap, but I guarantee you crap ton is an official size measurement. Okay, back to talking about the food trends. So this list that came out for the top food trends in 2018 by this company was it just made me like hate people in general a whole lot more, especially these people who deem these food trends to be the big things. The number one thing on the list, and this irks me to no end, was poke. And they described it as a fish salad. The main essence of poke is it's cubed and seasoned raw fish. It's not mixed with beets, it's not mixed with mangoes, and it's not served on a kale salad. Now this is where I have to make a confession. There is a poke place called Poke Time, and it's spelled with an I instead of an E. And I have bought their poke bowls a couple of times, mainly because there's no place in California or San Francisco where you can get good, legitimate poke. So I hate that I bought into the trend, but at the same time, sometimes the comfort of home food is much more needed than, you know, moral high grounds on food trends. So this poke trend that has, you know, gone across the US, I like it because it's exposing people to the food, but at the same time, I hate it because things that aren't poke is being called poke. Number 4 on this list for top trends of 2018 in food was soft serve ice cream. Now that in itself isn't the issue. The issue was that they were promoting exciting, new, inventive flavors like ube and green tea. Ube is basically a purple sweet potato that's very popular in Filipino food. And green tea is matcha, and that's very popular in Japan. And the fact that they were trying to sell it as exciting new flavors as if it's never been invented before, that broke down my nerves, because if you go to the origins of these ingredients, it's been popular there and used as ingredients in cooking and baking for ever and ever and ever. And the fact that they're trying to proclaim that these are new, exciting, and innovative flavors of soft serve ice cream is just kind of wrong, because it discredits all the work and all the inventiveness that has happened before in Japan or in the Philippines to make ube ice cream or to make green tea ice cream. I think the thing that bugs me is that touting new to you flavors, even though it's popular in like Asian cuisine or other cuisine, it just seems kind of egotistical. I mean, it'd be like if I went to England and said, hey, I'm gonna open a restaurant with a brand new toast topping. It's tinned beans. It's not new there, and people know about it, and they'll just kind of scoff like, really? You're gonna put that on a menu and tout it as new and trendy? It's kind of the same idea. And continuing on the food trend list, number 5 was Filipino food. Not just a specific dish, not a region of cuisine, just all Filipino food in general. Boom, it's gonna be a trend. Like, there's so many different types of Filipino food out there. Are they talking about pancit? Are they talking about lechon? Are they talking about something completely different that we don't even know about? They didn't even explain it. It's just as if all Filipino food is one and the same to them. And that kind of bugs me as well, because when you go to a country, there are definitely regions of cuisine where it's different influence. When you say Chinese food, there's not just one type of Chinese food. It's just to proclaim that all Filipino food will suddenly be a trend. Why is it trendy? Why is it cool now? Wasn't it cool before when all the Filipinos in the Philippines were eating it? No, it's just because you discovered it, it's trendy now. Time to eat this one. This is the one that's filled with tofu. Yep, add that hot sauce. Add it. In essence, I don't hate food trends, because that's the way people get exposed to foods that they never tried before. It becomes popular, more places open up to serve it, it becomes more affordable, and people enjoy the food and they get to try something that they've never had before. What irritates me about the food trend is when these groups of people proclaim that it's brand new and no one's ever heard of it before, or only an elite select group of people have heard of these types of food before, when in actually, if you look at the origins of where they come from, it could be comfort food for people from that country. Last one, this is a combination of riced cauliflower and tofu. So let's get it down the hatch. I've come to realize by doing these videos that there's no real way to look pretty while stuffing your face on camera. If someone can teach me how, I will gladly take lessons. Should I do the last bite song? Last bite, last bite, last bite, last bite. So now that I'm done eating, I guess it should be time for me to be done talking, and I gotta go wash up and do a whole pile of dishes because no one else is here to do it except me. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you who takes time out of your day to watch my video. Until next time, toodles!